told of the information that Yolanda is also coming and would directly hit our path in going to Tacloban. So aside from taking shelter sa Cebu, there were relief goods and other people who would be transported to Tacloban City. So we opted to go to Cebu. After which, lumalaysin na kami dito and we arrived 14 November here.
So you're bringing in passengers from Cebu, sir, coming to...
Yung loved ones nila, at saka yung ibang...
Those who are looking for the...
Yeah, yung doctors, some engineers, and some important people also would be essential in the relief operations.
So how many people are there?
There were approximately 200 to 250 passengers when we went from Cebu to Tacloban on 14 November. And most of them have loved ones here. But while proceeding here, they got hold of the news about the devastation, about the security concern. So some of those passengers opted to stay on board while the ship was here.
Even the media, sir?
Even the media, yeah. Jimmy 7 were billeted here.
Yes.
So upon returning to Cebu, we had anywhere from 1,300 to 1,400 passengers.
Yes, sir. But this, how much is your capacity, sir? How many people?
Basically, this is not designed for passengers. This is purposely built for a marine battalion.
So there's about 800 people.
Yeah, 500 to 600 max, supposedly. But because of the situation, we just told them that there's no... The accommodation will be Spartan-like.
Yes, sir.
And they had to lie on the decks.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And the passengers were very much willing to be discomforted.
How long is the trip, sir?
Anywhere from 20 to 24 hours.
And you have to feed them also?
Yeah. One good thing is we coordinated with the SWD and told them about our situation. And they provided us relief goods for the family.
Yeah, relief goods are not cooked.
Yeah, we had to cook it. Our galley store or our galley was able to sustain cooking for 24 hours. So our mess personnel, not only our mess personnel, but also some passengers who volunteered to, instead of doing nothing and contemplating on their flight. Some really, had to do something, and they did. They did a great job opening up can of sardines for 18 hours. We had to cook continuously, the rice and the.
But the staple is sardines.
Yeah. Nagano naman nagpapalit-palit naman, baka kasi magsawa. Merong 555, merong 1.
Nagpalit ng brand.
Nagpalit ng brand. And we also had corned beef and luncheon meat. So, kung ano yung naibigay sa amin. And nung naman,
will you be bringing in goods again, sir?
Hopefully, we're still on standby. And I heard there are a lot of relief goods also coming in Cebu. And they still need to be delivered here. So, most likely, if not relief goods, other equipment probably that will help in the rehabilitation.
Sir, in so many years that you've been with the Navy, is this one of the toughest times? Considering the...
from my 20 years in the service, this is, I think, one of the greatest devastation I have witnessed and that I have participated in.
Sir, aside from some other siege?
Yeah. We were also in Zamboanga during the siege. So, I told my people that it's a lot better saving lives than taking it, because in the Zamboanga siege, although it's a combat operation, there are limited humanitarian assistance also, but unlike here, the devastation is really that great. You can compare it to a war already.
But you have really thick and span.
We have to.
It's the hotel in the city.
Well, part of safety is cleanliness, so we really have to. Even after the passenger left, the 1,300 or 400 so passengers, they left a lot of trash, garbage, within span of 3-4 hours, we're able to restore the ship into another ready for sea status, so that we could take it anywhere from cargoes to passengers.
Sir, personally, did you have to go through ladderized courses also just to be where you are now? You're not a seaman by profession.
No. I'm a graduate of computer science. So but the Navy equipped us before holding on to this position. Aside from, we have junior billets, we call it. We started off as mess officer, second mess officer, and so on and so forth. And every stage, we have to undergo specialized courses to prepare us in the next billet that we will be issuing.
Have you experienced rough seas, sir?
Yes. Most of the time, especially this time of year. Ang tawag yun is amihan or northeasterly, and summer area is susceptible to amihan. So, just like when we came from here to Cebu, all of us had to endure 3 to 4 hours of rough seas. So we had to maneuver the ship so that we call it tacking. So that we would avoid being broadsided and listing from
starboard to
port, and vice versa. So we had to do that for the sake of our passengers also.
Yes. Will you be given the choice? Would you prefer another career? The Navy or...
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. Yeah. Alam niyo yun na, if you're just watching the TV and you're just at home, wanting to do something, parang nakakaiyak. Sa akin nanonood ka lang ng TV, kikita mo mga devastation. Hindi kagaya sa amin, kahit paano. Although directive, ang katapat namin, we were directed to assist. Pero me, as an individual, as a person, I think it's an honor for me to serve in any capacity, kahit siguro not as commanding officer or even tagabuhat ng basa. I could put my hand on, I could make my hands dirty so that in my own little way it could be of help dito sa kababayan natin. And I think siguro naman kahit sino would agree with me on that note. Wala ka naman.
Do you have is there another? Do you want to also pilot a ship like Alcaraz and BRP Bacolod? That's higher in terms of
in terms of responsibility, capability.
Yes, kasi fighting machine.
Yeah. Why not? But during this situation, ang bida, yung mga logistics.
Yes, of course. So, and the DSWD. They command the pilot.
So in this kind of situation, ipagpapalit ko si Gregorio del Pilar kay Bacolod City.
And Ramon.
And Ramon Alcaraz. Hindi ko ipagpapalit si Bacolod City in this kind of situation. Even in conflict situation, in wartime, in battles, logistic support vessel is the unsung hero of naval operations. Alcaraz and other combatant ships could not stay long.
Are dependent on.
Correct. In terms of their sustainment, water, fuel, and other provisions, which this ship carries and provides.
What are your hopes for the Navy, sir? Do you have hopes that it's really going to be modernized?
Yes, slowly we are. We have this sail plan 2020 that we will be a strong and credible Navy, which our maritime nation can be proud of. And I'm glad that slowly we are upgrading our capabilities so that we will be a more credible maritime institution in serving Filipinos.
Have you considered ever fighting, sir?
It's a core competency. The reason why we have a Navy is to defend our maritime territory. So, although this is a logistics support vessel, our core competency is war fighting. We are first and foremost fighters at sea.
You're willing, sir?
Yes, definitely.
Pilot a...
Yes. It's an opportunity, it's a privilege, it's an honor also to fight for your country. Very few people are given the opportunity to serve the country in that capacity. Only the armed forces of the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
As far as vocation is concerned, I mentioned a while ago. No,
Is it too late for us, sir?
no, it's not. Definitely not. Definitely not. You
Yes,
can
sir.
still help
Have you
in.
gone to MNSA already?
Not yet.
How about you?
Not yet. Still too young. Hopefully next year.
Sir, kumusta po yung Philippine Navy in terms of water assets? Enough po ba yung mga...
It's never enough. We have 7,100 islands, and in between those 7,100 islands are vast waters inland and outer territories. It's more than twice that of the United States.
Yes, sir.
And we only have 100 different types of vessels that guards the sea, and it's never enough. But we're doing our best. We have identified important choke points that needs to be guarded, so that we maximize the available resources that we have. Like for example, in this kind of situation. Even vessels coming from the north, coming from Zamboanga, and coming from Manila, were directed to proceed here and provide the needed equipment, relief goods, and so on and so forth. Buhos muna. Hindi naman natin tinatanggalan ng ibang assets yung mga ibang naval forces natin, but we prioritize. That's why we make do with what we have.
So do you think it is wiser to refurbish old ships than just... we cannot afford it.
Yeah, that's the right term. It's a question of budget.
Yes.
If you have the means, why not buy new
Yes,
cars,
of course.
right? But since we only have limited budget, instead of replacing our old car,
Yes, sir. I think you're spending 400 million for the last petroleum.
yeah, I'm not so sure about the figure, but I think it ranges on that scale. Even buying new ships costs fuel, so...
Yes, sir. Sabi nga nila, sir, pag mas bago, mas less,
Yeah.
the lesser the consumption.
If you can afford it, then why not?
Yeah.
If you can afford it. That's why most of the ships are already vintage. I mean,
Yeah.
it can be qualified as floating museum already.
Yes.
And it's attributable also to the ingenuity of the Filipinos, that we're making do with what we have until such time that it is replaced by new ones. So we're glad to receive new ships, but until such time, we still have to make do with what we have.
How often do you purchase it? Once a year? Once every 5 years?
Just recently, yeah. Again, it depends on the budget. It depends on the national budget, and we are entirely dependent on the national budget. For the past couple of years, there were a lot of procurement that enhances the capability.
Because of the AFP modernization.
Correct.
So how does it feel to be floating side by side with yung ships of the other countries? Have you been?
Yeah.
Di ba parang dwarfs sa
Yeah, but
are these big ships?
yeah, they're huge. They're brand new. They're more capable. But I'm still proud that I still have this ship. Nothing to be ashamed of. Yeah, if this is
No choice, sir. No.
Well, you can say that, but I cannot be apologetic with the capabilities that we have. I have to make do with the capabilities that we have. The ship that the Navy
You're
has.
computerized naman, sir, di ba?
Yeah. We
GPS and all.
those are standard equipment on board.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And bawal ang babae, sir, to timon-timon.
we have 4 crew, 2
Ay, meron
officers
sila
and
babae.
2 enlisted personnel.
Kasi I heard, pag the accident, yung accidents daw, meron daw babae.
In a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Hindi But we have
But not
female
anymore.
crew. We have female crew,
Yeah.
yeah. We have female crew.
Yes, female colonels ulit sir, no?
Yes, yes.
Meron ako.
Actually, the first female UN contingent commander is a female. Commander or Captain.
Navy, sir.
Yeah, Captain Luz Camacho. She's already in Haiti, and she also commanded ships during her time. So, as far as gender equality, the Navy provides a...
Sir, kung na-join ako ng Navy, baka classmate ko siya.
Mare! Mare, yeah. Yeah, kasabayan siya ni,
Colonel na dapat ako ngayon.
pangalan ito yung minention niyo kanina?
ASEAN to, sir.
Yeah, Colonel yan.
Mas mga bata pa yun sa akin.
Ay, gano'n.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir.
No problem, no problem.
Kailan po ang alis niyo? For Cebu naman kayo?
Baka tomorrow. Depende pa rin sa headquarters. Meron kami command post.
Wala kayong schedule, sir, parang calendar o
depende kami sa directive ng
parang on need basis na lang.
Yeah. They tell us kung kailan yung estimated time of departure na.
Doon na base ang BRP Bacolod?
At large siya talaga.
At large.
Oo. Pero before, we came from Cavite under Task Force 80. Yung Task Force 80, yung tinatawag namin National Maneuver Force.
Ay, friend ko pala si Rear Admiral Bernardino.
Yeah, our Vice
Lagi
Commander.
kami nakikita.
Yeah, our Vice Commander.
Yes.
Shopee.
When are you going to be Vice Commander?
Ako?
Yeah, huh?
Dream on.
Far-fetched?
Hindi mo far-fetched, too far pa lang.
Pero pwede kayo, sir, even if you're not Navy.
May opportunity.
Have you had 4 weeks
Yes.
experience?
Rear Vice Admiral Hinko from Iloilo, from Santa Barbara, Iloilo. Hindi siya PMA graduate, but he became FOIC. Other FOIC also during the 80s, 1 or 2 became FOIC. Yeah. Ano naman, equal opportunity naman.
Yeah.
Diba? Ganun naman.
Totoo yun, sir.